child, someone probably asked you what you wanted to be when you grew up. You may have dreamed of working here at the police station, or at the fire department, or even a school. But if you were disabled, would your outlook on life have changed? We talked to 3 people who didn't let their differences impact their lives.
As far as I can tell with the culture here, for 28 years, the attitude is that persons with disabilities should stay at home and be fed. I was not going to be like that at all. That was not the way I was brought up.
So Keisha Martin didn't let being blind hold her career. She landed a job at the Georgetown police station, taking calls and filing reports.
My computer is just a regular laptop like any other sighted person would buy, except that it has a special talking software that the police department has purchased for me. It's very costly.
Hi sir, blank, how are you today?
I went away for 16 months thanks to the Ministry of Education for funding that. That was a very expensive cause, but a very good cause. The disability that I have is my inability to see. That's what I always tell people. I could see. I was born a normal child like any other, with sight and everything, and at the age of 5, I was hit in the eye with a stick playing with a child, and it resulted in my going blind in both eyes.
Like Keisha, Joe Ebing suffered from a childhood accident. But even without the use of his entire arm, he lives an abundant life. He spends his free time playing pool, beating most patrons at the country and western bar. And when he doesn't hold a pool stick, he spins records. His love of music made a name for himself as a DJ.
I start just thinking, with friends playing ball and thing, and I start thinking, really getting worried, thinking, well, what can I do in life? I really need something what I'm good at. I always play music like a young boy. So I said, my friend had a little bar. He didn't have no one to play the music. So I went there and I said, well, I'm gonna play the music for you and see what's up. A lot of people look at one another. As they look at you, don't hold no hands. They think that you are disabled, you can't do nothing. So I really think that disability is not being that you hold a hands or a part of a limb cut off apart from your body, because disability is all in your mind, it's in your head. It's not nothing that difficult for me. Nothing. I can do everything.
I think that in terms of making people feel at ease, both people with the disability and also people in the general community, talk is good. The more you talk to someone and finding out more, what do you like, what are you good at, what are your strengths, that's very helpful. I think that in terms of parenting, making sure that your child is as included as possible, getting that child out there and empowering them to take part in as much as they can is good for that person's self-worth and also good for the community at large, because it lets everybody see, so-and-so just because they use a wheelchair doesn't mean that they can't be in the school play, doesn't mean that they can't be in a band or that they can't go to dance.
As an occupational therapist, Kim Voden tries to reinforce that message into the children she teaches.
I think especially for the older children that I've worked with, hopefully I have been a good model of what you can do if you believe in yourself and you try to the best of your ability. I know that several of my older students, as many of them are coming up towards graduation now from high school, there's always a constant question of, oh, Miss Kim, how did you get into occupational therapy? I would like to do something like that. And so even dialoguing with them and discussing with their families some ideas towards transitioning towards adult independence, thinking about, well, have you thought about sending your child to university? Why not? Some parents still are not there yet. They're not even thinking of, oh, what comes after school for my child. So egging that on, trying to live in a way that shows them that yes, you can still be a productive member of society, and let me help you think through this.
Times have changed since Keisha, Jill, and Kim grew up in the Cayman Islands. Now more opportunities are available for persons with disabilities, but there is still a long way to go to ensure equality. For instance, Keisha was forced to return her seeing eye dog to the United States. Many places on island banned her from bringing the dog into their businesses. That's exactly why the Ministry of Education is fighting for their rights. To read more about the legislation, just log on to the ministry's website, www.brighterfutures.ky.
The week is all about, of course, persons with disabilities, looking at some individuals' life stories, the struggles in which they face, the successes that they have achieved, the family interaction and public interaction with persons with disabilities. We have a series of daybreak segments. Some of them will cover education issues, some of them health issues. We will also have committee members on the radio stations. The overall aim is to change negative attitudes towards persons with disabilities.